What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. Today to talk a little bit about Tag and not the game we played as kids. Tag grading. I've gotten a lot of DMs, mentions, comments on videos about my general thoughts and take on Tag. Talked about this a little bit in the live stream the other night, and I figured I would just go ahead and do a video on this, and then I could just point people to it if I get questions and just kind of put this out into the ether. So for those who don't know what Tag is, it's kind of the newest foray into the grading world, another three-letter acronym touting a lot of AI grading, tech-based, etc., etc. If you want like the ultra deep dive, Jeremy Lee over at Sports Card Live did a multi-part series with them showing off basically how everything works, essentially. My general take on any new grading company, if it's not one of the big four, and who do I consider the big four? PSA, BGS, SGC, and then CSG/CGC. To me, those are the big four reputable graders. I don't know that it really makes sense to use anyone outside of that right now. I don't really see a space for air quotes pop-up grading, if you will. And I'm not going to name any names. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of three-letter grading companies out there. I just don't ever see the point in using them when there are four really good companies over here. Pricing's probably about to get all shaken up once PSA clears the backlog. If I don't like one of the four companies, I could go to one of the other four. There's plenty of options available. That's my general macro level take when it comes to the smaller grading companies. And the smaller grading companies have reached out to me. They have offered me, hey, send us X amount of cards. We'll grade them for free. We just want to get the slabs in your hand. And I always turn them down. Tag has not reached out to me in any shape or form. I had a brief discussion about Tag with Jeremy Lee at the National at dinner one night. So here's where I'm at with them. Credit work. I'm skeptical of any new company just right out the gate. Like, just to put that out there, they are not excluded to this. To give credit where credit is due, they've basically taken HGA's playbook. Here's everything that HGA did in regards to the launch. Not everything, but here's a lot of stuff that HGA did. And they're essentially taking that and say, let's do everything that's different than that. And really, that's a pretty good place to be. I like the fact, they're AI based, sure. I like the fact that they showed us the work before going live, whereas with HGA, it was, we have this mythical AI. We can't show it to you. We can't talk about it. We don't really know what it is. We're going to put out some really bad videos about how it works, but not really show anything and just use big words. They didn't do any of that. And the real problem here is that HGA honestly screwed this up for everybody. The nonsense that they pulled, the stuff that they did on their launch with, grading the fake cards, never really kind of giving us an idea of how all this works, backlogs, slabs bowing, coming apart, the whole 9 yards, just, every laundry list of stuff that HGA did in their launch window, within the first year, kind of really mucked it up for any other new company coming on the scene, because a lot of people are now going to look at them super skeptical because of what HGA did. And I am right there with them. So I do like the fact that Tag came out and said, here's how the grading process works. They are being very restrictive on what they're taking. I believe it's 2,000 or newer in regards to types of cards that they're taking. Once again, smart on them. They're staying in their lane and what the AI is capable of grading at this point, or the whatever you want to call it. What they are capable of grading. I hate to keep referring to it as AI. So what Tag feels comfortable grading with them and their system, that's what they're taking. HGA was taking 86 Fleer Jordans out the gate. Fakes were getting through the whole nine. So once again, I respect them for looking at what they messed up and saying, hey, let's only take what we know that this thing can nail so we don't have these gotcha moments. That's what you really need to stay away from as a grading company, in my opinion, as a new player, new kid on the block, if you will. You can't get caught up in this nonsense. You can't get trapped. You don't want to end up in a card porn post. You don't want to end up in a sports card radio video. You don't want to end up with me and Dustin talking about fake this, that, and the other thing. So good on them for staying in their lane. I do like that. I've seen some people criticize them for that. I'm not going to get into their pricing and all that nonsense because that stuff's all going to shift as things kind of move. I'm not a big fan of the 1,000-point grading scale. I'll be honest. I like the fact that they do have a real grade backing it up. I haven't had a slab in hand. I was not at the Burbank show, so I haven't got a chance to hold one. I like the general idea of it, but I need to get hands on it. I like the fact that the label is integrated inside the slab, so it seems like it would be tougher to counterfeit. But once again, I haven't had one in hand, so I'm not going to go too far down the road. I don't know. They have said that it looks and feels better than a CSG slab, but I'm not going to go out on that limb because I have not held one in my hand. I am slightly concerned that this company feels like it was designed to be purchased. And that's no offense to them. Maybe it's not, but that's the vibe that I personally get. And maybe that's not the case. I could be completely wrong. So I have some concerns there of, if their tech is legit, and once again, I don't know for sure if it is or not, but if their tech is legit and they're showing it off and it could do all these things that it wants to do, what's to stop someone from coming in and swooping up the tech side of it, and then tag disappears and becomes part of pick a whatever one you want, bigger grading company, insert 3 letters here, and what happens to the cards already in tag slabs if in 10 years from now no one even knows who tag is because it was purchased as part of an acquisition to bring on the technology. And maybe that's not the case. Maybe they want to go out there and be the next PSA. Who knows? But I do worry about that a little bit from a long-term perspective. Will I send them anything? No. I have no plans on grading anything with them, at least initially. I need to, once again, when a new grading company comes up, I need to see them come out and prove themselves before I am willing to send my cards and pay my money to entrust them with my cards to handle them, encapsulate them, and get them back to me, and that slab / company / whatever will be respected on the secondary market whenever I go to sell. Even if it's something for PC, at some point in time, we're going to end up wanting to sell whatever that item is. So I am in watch, wait, and see mode with them. I am intrigued. I love the fact that they have a grading report. Full props to them. I've been begging the bigger companies to do it. I've asked them directly every time I've had the ones that I had direct interaction with that I've had them on. I asked Peter directly at SGC. I asked the CSG guys when I had them on. I understand it would be a lot of work, but I really think that's something that we need. It's on the comic book side. They figured it out over there to be able to post a detailed grading report that tells you exactly why your card got the grade that it wanted. I think that's something that we all want, and credit where credit's due that they are doing that with their imaging and grading report. And some of the other stuff that they have. Front and back subgrades, this, that, and the other thing. Sure, fine, whatever. But it's nice to be able to have something to point at that shows me why the card graded the way that it did. So once again, full credit where credit's due on that one. I'll give them props on that as well. But any company could technically bring that on if they really wanted to. It baffles me why we don't have it for at least higher end submissions, or give me the option. If I'm paying $100 to grade a card with PSA, you can't copy and paste some grader's notes and throw them on a website that's tied to the QR code on the back of the card. Like, come on, guys. So I would like to see the other grading companies go to a more detailed report on why your card graded the way that it did. I think it's going to be interesting to see because people are going to do this. And they said that they've done this internally, but it'll be interesting to see when someone actually gets their hands on them and starts doing this. Get a card graded by them, crack it, send it back. How does the grading report different? Crack it, send it back. How does the grading report different? Rinse and repeat. Someone's going to do that over and over again. And that will be interesting. The results of that will be very interesting to see how close it regrades the same card again and again. Once again, I know that they have done internal testing on it. I forget the variants that they said, but I know that it came up on one of the live streams. But I would like to see an outsider perform the same test and see what happens in regards to that. So that's kind of where I'm at with tag. Wait and see mode. I'm intrigued by some of the stuff that they're doing. Will they be around in 5 years? I have no idea. Are they going to revolutionize the game? I have no idea. Are they the next PSA? Maybe. I don't know. Are they going to be the #1 slab in 10 years? I mean, anything's possible. It could be. They could also be owned by somebody else in 5 years. Who knows? They could get caught up in some nonsense and tank them just like what happened with HGA. Time will tell, but once again, wait and see mode for me. I want to give them at least 6 months to a year before I would want to send something to them, most likely. I don't want to box myself into a corner on that, but I am in 100% wait and see mode with them right now. Maybe I'll change my mind when I got slabs in hand if I run into a slab at a show somewhere or whatever, but sit back, observe. There's no need to rush out to give them a try. We have 4 great grading companies out there. I'm intrigued by them. I'm not writing them off. I have my eyes on them. That's where I'm ultimately at with them. So anytime you're getting ready to use one of these companies, do your homework. You are trusting them with your cards to come back in one piece in a semi-timely manner and then potentially have some value on the secondary market. So that's all I have for you guys and girls today. Curious for your thoughts down below. Where are you guys at with them? Have you even ever heard of them before? Is this the first time that you heard of them? It's typically not like me to cover the non-big 4, but once again, I got so many questions about them I felt like it was at least worth putting this out into the ether. And once again, my general stance on pop-up grading companies are thanks, but no thanks. I have 4 really great options over here, but I am at least mildly intrigued by some of the stuff that they've shown, some of the tech, the slab design itself, at least has my eyes on them. We'll see where it goes from there. So once again, curious for your comments down below. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and we will catch you guys and girls on the next one. Peace.